You know, Bordeaux is not just red wine. It's white wine. And it's Sauternes. It's one of those wines that you kind of forget about until you taste it, and then you're like, how do we not drink more of this? It's so good, you know? And what's really cool about today's offer is that this comes from a Sauternes vintage that is actually a great vintage. It's a lousy vintage for Bordeaux red wines, but it's a great vintage for Sauternes. When you look at great vintages of Sauternes, 2007, lousy vintage for red wines, great vintage for Sauternes. Why? Rain. I was in Bordeaux in 2013 for Vin Expo. It rained and rained and rained. And I mean, literally, I have never seen so much rain in my whole life, but I live in Southern California, so, you know. So what that does is it brings moisture in the air. And so for Sauternes, they get this fog that creates botrytis. And botrytis is what you want, that noble rot, to make great Sauternes. And 2013 was a great Sauternes vintage. And so we are privileged to have 2013 Château Suduiraut. Now, Château Suduiraut is, you know, essentially the chateau's been around for since the 16th century. You know, we're talking, they've been making sweet wine there forever. It's next to Château Yquem, which is, as you well know, the first growths of all Sauternes. And great vintages of Sauternes, the Sauternes is not cloying. It's like because the acidity factor being a cold vintage, it's really lifted. It gives the wine like this vibrancy. It's hand-picked berry by berry. I mean, they have people going to the vineyards, picking grape by grape by grape by grape to make these great wines. So when you have a vintage like 13, 7, another great vintage, 01, there's nothing like it in the world. Literally, there's nothing like that in the world. So again, Suduiraut, 200 acres, gravel, next to Yquem, all HVE3. Now this is kind of what blows me away. How can you go HVE3 in Sauternes when you have this fog that comes in, this moisture that comes in when you're trying to protect? Certain things I don't get. 2013, it has the drive and the cut to counterbalance that sweetness and that tropical fruit and mango, passion fruit, everything that's going on in this wine. 97 points, by the way, Suckling. He calls it phenomenal. And quite honestly, it is phenomenal. Half bottles we're doing. They come in 12-pack laydowns. And I'm telling you right now, we're going into the season like with Thanksgiving and Christmas and those kind of foods that like you need this wine on your table. So to recap here, I mean, you have a 97-point Sauternes, 1 point less than Château Yquem. And Château Yquem sells for the half bottle, $175. But we are selling this for $34.98. $34.98 for one of the greatest Sauternes produced in the 2013 vintage, which is a great vintage for Sauternes. Not a good vintage, a great vintage, where they actually got the botrytis where they want it to be. And that's the thing about Sauternes. They make a Sauternes every year, but only certain years where it is actually absolutely exceptional. And I'm super picky about Sauternes. Sauternes has to finish clean. Sometimes Sauternes has this like, the finish just doesn't lift. This lifts. Seriously, I'm telling you guys, this is once you drink it, you'll like, wow, I wish I bought more. Boy, it's so good.